Welcome to today's webinar, Unlock the Secrets of Spirituality. This is Akshita. I work as a software developer and I was fortunate enough to get introduced to this knowledge at a very early age. And today I'm going to share with you my experience of spirituality and what I understand from it. So let us get started. My understanding of spirituality, I have understood it in this way. There are three things. The first one is realization of the self as an energy. I, I am the being. I am much more than this physical body and the matter. I am beyond the physical sense organs. I am a higher power. The other part is realization of the higher source, and we can call it divine, supreme, or whatever name we give it. So, having that realization that there is some power which is greater than me. And the third one is getting connected with that power, that divine energy. When I do that, I fill myself up with super sensuous joy because I am beyond the sense organs and I'm getting connected to a divine energy which is also beyond the sense organs. And that's why the joy I experience there is super sensuous. So we will see later about how to do these things. Let's visit some secrets. Typically, I've covered three secrets in this webinar. The first one is the power of gratitude. So we have a popular saying where it says, count your blessings and not your missings. If we think about our missings, we can go on. There will be a big list. We can do a short exercise at our free time. List the number of blessings you have and then list the number of missings and see the percentage. You will be surprised to know that your missings might be just 2 to 3% of the amount of blessings you have. So when we start thinking about missings, we enter a low energy zone and we will only get feelings of those kind of missings which we are experiencing. But when we start counting our blessings, our roads will open, our scope will widen, and we will try to fill in those missings with the blessings we have. And very important for gratitude is the first few thoughts in the morning. When we start our day, the foundation of our day is extremely important. Like we know in any case, like construction of a building, how important the foundation of uh, the building is. When a seed is planted, how important the roots are for it to sustain for a long time. So similarly, foundation is the morning. And what is the core foundation? The thoughts we create in the first few hours of the morning, especially the first 1 hour after we get up. So as soon as we get up, it is very important to start our day with a extremely high frequency energy. And that energy we might unfortunately not get when we get up and look at the phone immediately, because you see the worldly news, how much positivity it is there in that. So we have to create some news even before we look at the news of the world. So those kind of first few thoughts we should train ourselves to create. As soon as we open our eyes, the first thing we can thank for, we can be grateful for this life, we can be grateful to the divine or any superpower or any power you believe in or anything you call. Just be very grateful because that supreme and divine energy is at extremely high energy. It's extremely high frequency. And when we connect with that, it is, we get tuned into that frequency, and it is the best frequency we can vibrate at right early in the morning. Next is we can thank our body. We can thank our mind. Mind and body, it's with us throughout the day. It's sustaining us. So it's very important to thank that. And then we can go on with nature and we can create these feelings of gratitude as we go ahead in the day. Be thankful for everyone and everything. What does this mean? When we say everyone and everything, it does include everyone and everything. It does include people who are nice to me and people who might not be so nice to me. So why you should be thankful for them? It is very easy to express gratitude for people who are very good to me and they appreciate me and I thank them in return. But even the souls or the people or relations or anything in life which is not very nice to me, which I think it's not very nice to me, even that plays a significant role in my progress. So here's an example of a catapult. The person, even if he thinks there's a setback in life or he's been pulled backward, it's only because he's going to be launched far ahead. So the small part which we see missing or we set back or we think we are pulled back, but it's only because we are going to go much, much further. Similarly, it's with the people who might not be very appreciative or who might be negative towards us. But at the same time, we should be thankful because their behavior with us is letting me work on my maybe weaknesses, or it is letting me lower my ego, and it is letting me accept that criticism. I might not accept the criticism as it is, but at least I get the strength and the power to recognize or acknowledge that kind of criticism. If I'm always appreciated, it will be very hard when someone criticizes me, right? So we build that strength and the power. So be very thankful for them also, because they are the true people. Like usually it is said, right? Your make your enemy your best friend if you want to succeed. What that means is they will they will be very critical and they will make sure to present to us our defects. And actually that works well in our case, because we want to work on our defects and we need someone to show us that, and they can be instrumental in doing that. So free of cost we are getting to see our defects and work on them. At the same time, uh, if we are stable while taking appreciation, we will be stable and we will not get hurt by the defects. So it's said that yogi is the one who is stable both in appreciation and in when it is criticized. So when I'm not accepting the appreciation, I am acknowledging it and I'm moving forward. I'm not stuck to it and I'm not letting my ego grow because of that appreciation. Then when I see the criticism, I will also learn from it and move ahead. I will not be stuck to it or I will not feel hurt. So it is very important to do that. Also at the same time, I do not see their negativity, because like we are working on our defects, even they might be working on their defects. They are actually wanting to leave the defects, and when we look at their negativity or defects, we are attracting towards us. So we have our own defects, and then when we look at their defects, we are also attracting that. So it's double work for us. So we can see their weaknesses and we can be protective, we can protect ourselves from that, but we should always pass good wishes and gratitude feelings towards them. and not gossip around or spread it more, because the whatever they are creating or they are trying to lose, I don't want to attract that. So we should be careful of that. So thankful for everyone and everything. The second one is the art of visualization. This is a pretty interesting one, and this is also a little bit challenging because it might be hard to visualize something which is not there today. Completely agree that something which is not there, and I'm visualizing something which is to another level, it might be hard to do that. But it is done, and we have examples of it. It was impossible to visualize or to imagine traveling miles apart overseas within few hours before the aeroplane was invented, right? It was impossible to imagine that whenever I wish, like, I can just call someone miles apart and actually talk to them and see them. Now we have the internet and the video chat to do that. 100 years back, we could not imagine these things, that it can happen. So there are spaceship inventions. People are going out of the planets, they're crossing the planets and going far. That research is going on. They're traveling to the moon, they're leaving the earth. All these things were not imagined, but it's only the power of visualization. It's power of thought which was created, and then work was done towards it. And these are big things of the world, and this might have taken decades to get implemented. But even very small things in our lives, we know the place I am today, I wouldn't have imagined to be here a few years back. But it's some kind of visualization I put for myself because of which I'm here. So this is how the mind works. The logic is when we put an image or when we put an aim in front of the mind, and then the mind starts believing it's true, and then we start working towards it. And it is working for positive or negative. So anything you put, it's going to work for that. Then there's this vision board. You can create your own vision board. Here is an example. Whatever you want for yourself, you can create on that board, and then you can view it every day. Within some days, you start accepting that you have it, and all the work will go towards that. The third part we are discussing is the law of love. And this is, you can say, the most powerful law or most powerful feeling one can have. The thought of love is the highest frequency. It is the energy which makes us vibrate at a very, 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 very high frequency. Right? Love is the most beautiful and most powerful energy. We might have heard there are no words needed when there is language of love. So love needs no words. And here is an example of parents, and they have a small infant, how they communicate, how the parents know each and everything of the child, how they raise the child. It is the ultimate love they have for the child, the unconditional love, right? Is it possible if I tell you that 2 months from now, you are only going to get to sleep 2 hours in whole 24 hours? Continuous 2 months, you only will get to sleep 2 hours per 24 hours. Is it possible? Will we be able to do it? But think of new parents. They are spending months over months, sleepless nights. How do they get the power to do that? How much work is spent behind the small child? How do they get to do it? It's the power of love. And even when the child grows up and learns to talk and even talks, even the child doesn't know anything and the parents know everything about the child. So it is that kind of love with which they've accepted the child and they are making it grow, right? And along with love, lot of other feelings of care, joy, happiness tags along. So any thought, any thought which we create, if we accompany it with the power of love, it creates an irresistible force, right? If you were to do something just like that, versus if you love that thing, you will grow leaps and bounds in that. So even at work, they say, right, love what you do. Or are you loving what you're doing? If you are not performing that well, they would say that. Because it is very important to love what we do. And when each and every thought of ours is wrapped with that feeling of love, our transformation happens, our life transforms. So the bottom line is that we have to love. We have to learn to love if we are not already doing that. What we do, everything, every act of mine, I am supposed to do with love. And I will get fruitful benefits from there. Anyways, I have to do that thing. If I enable it with the power of love, how much benefit it is going to give me. And there are small experiments which have taken place, and I can share with you. So this is an experiment done on an apple. It's a 14-day experiment where an apple was cut into half and it was put into two airtight tins. One tin was given the feeling of love and other tin was given feeling of hate. With the same atmospheric pressure, with the same temperature and everything same, see the condition of both the apples. And this was a similar experiment done on rice over a period of a month. So rice was put into water in an airtight jar, and the one was given feeling of love and another hate. Over the period of 30 days, how much mold and so many things the hate jar has developed. And another experiment was done on a plant, which was over a month. And the plant was given feeling of love, another plant was hate, and there was a third plant which was ignored. So like we can see, the love plant is fresh and blooming. The plant which was given the feelings of hate is wilted and it's kind of sad and about to die. And the one which is ignored, look at the condition. So the researchers have found out that even if you're giving the feeling of hate to the plant, you're still acknowledging it, and it is still getting the energy of being considered or acknowledgement. But the one which is ignored is even in the worst condition. So these images might not be very pleasant to look at, right? But this is the reality, and you can experiment it at your home if you want. Just take a little bit and do it. When the food item, and they are perishable items, so yes, they are going to degrade. But over the period of 14 days to a month, if they can, the ones which are supplied with the power of hate can degrade so much, then of course that thought has some energy, right? And our body is made up of more than 70% of water. So when we are cooking the food, what kind of energy are we supplying? What kind of thoughts I'm supplying? And myself, how much I'm paying attention to. Yes, I'm doing everything for my body, but the inner being, is it being ignored? People around me, am I acknowledging them or are they being ignored? Because apple, maybe it was done over a 14-day period. Rice, maybe it was done over 30-day period. We beings, maybe it is done over few years, but still the effect is going to show within few months maybe, or within few years, but it is going to show. So be very cognizant of that, and let's create the right feelings. Then there are different kind of secrets. One is secret of attracting money. Since we are living in the body, yes, we do need these things. And with the power of right thought, we can attract it in abundance. And when I say abundance, it is the feeling of abundance I am creating, that I am abundant in that source. What happens is when we create the feelings of I am broke or I don't have enough money, we are attracting those energy. Believe it or not, but we are attracting only those kind of frequencies. Whereas if we are always in the state of abundance and not just saying, we don't have to say anything, but always feeling that abundant stage, that I have so much, that I will always be full. Similarly, with good relationships, sometimes we say, oh, I just don't get along with this person. I just don't know how to deal with this person. If I'm saying that, I am only attracting that energy and it is going to worsen my relationship. Say if you're not getting along with a person, if that is the real case, what is the option we have? We have to deal with the person, but we are not getting along with the person. The option is either I keep saying, I don't get along, and I will attract that negative, heavy energy. I will attract to myself. I will also spread it to the other person, and I will not get along. Instead, if I change my thought, visualize that I am getting along very well with the person, we are very happy, and we are talking, and everything is, our relationship is becoming very beautiful. What is the loss? And there will be a point that we will attract all these thoughts and we will start getting along, and we can experiment this, all these things. Then attracting good health. With good health, usually we keep asking each other, how are you, and what answers do we get? I'm okay, or I'm not that well, or just hanging in there, or just moving ahead, something like that. If we keep ourselves in that frequency, we will always be there. Do you just want to hang around, or do you want to enjoy living? Do you want to grow? Do you want to be happy? Then if you want to do that, we will always have to reach or believe that we are in that frequency. Say if you have pain and you keep saying, I have pain, we are gathering collectively those thoughts of pain. And when somebody calls you and you tell them, I have pain, you tell them also, they're like, oh, you have pain. And then they will tell the third person. And from everywhere, we have collected a pool of so much energy of pain. What do you think will happen to the pain? First, I had only few thoughts of mine. I have pain. But now I have a basket full of thoughts of pain from everyone. Maybe it's from concern or maybe it's from anything, but it's still thought of pain. What will happen to your pain? It will reduce, right? It will increase and increase. It will keep increasing because we have attracted that energy. So only if necessary, to the right instrument, we can convey that you have pain. If you go to the doctor, you have to tell him wherever it's paining. There you cannot go and say, I don't have pain, right? I mean, that's not the intelligent thing to do. But who it is not necessary to, why do unnecessary tell them, right? Instead, if I'm saying everything is fine, they will be, oh wow, everything is fine, your health is very good. That kind of energy I'm attracting. So experiment this also. We can experiment it if we are very tired and we keep blessing ourselves with those thoughts that I am tired, I am tired. We are bound to get more tired. But immediately, if I change the thought and I'm saying, I am fresh, I can do anything, I have a lot of energy, then immediately it will change. Because who is getting tired first? It is the mind or the body? Who is getting tired first? Maybe physically, body is getting tired. But before that, mind is getting tired. Because say you are very, very, very tired physically and you come home and there is a good news, extremely good news, something you love, and you have to go there. What will happen? You will jump with joy. You'll go pack your bags and you go there. Where did the tiredness go? So it's in the mind, right? First. So all these thoughts can be attracted and can help you a lot. When we think we are body, body is made up of matter. When we think we are body, yes, we want these things. We want money, we want food, we want good relations. Everything is very necessary when we think we are body. We don't have to ignore these. We have to accept them. We have to attract them using the power of visualization, using high energy thoughts. But this is ordinary. What is the extraordinary thing? This we need definitely, but what we need and about the greed. So this is a story of Midas touch. There was a king who used to love gold and he asked for a blessing. Whatever he touches turns into gold. So he got up, he touched his bed, it turned into gold. He touched his couch, it turned into gold. He was very happy. Then he went to eat food, and whatever food he touches turns into gold. He couldn't eat anything. Then he went to see his daughter. As soon as he touched her, she turned into gold. So the message is that we need to attract things, but in a limit. Whatever we need will automatically come to us. Say we need a job. If we are needing the job, we produce good thoughts, we produce thoughts, elevated thoughts, and the job is there for me. It will come directly to me. If I need money, it will come to me. Whatever relations I need, they will get attracted to me if I'm in the right state, if I'm in the right consciousness, right? So these physical things will come to me if my state is in the right consciousness, if I am in the right state of thoughts. So who is this I then? When we say human being, it is made up of two words, human and being. Human comes from a word humus. Humus is matter. So like it's shown here, it's a skeleton made of bones and flesh. That's the humus. When that combines with I, the being, energy, point of light, soul, whatever you call it, when these two get combined, then it transforms or the human being is formed. So we saw the needs of the humus. We saw whatever the needs of the humus are. Now, what is the being? And why we don't know that we are the being, or why we keep forgetting that we are the being? Because we are covered in so many layers. All these layers of body, roles and relationships, education, profession, so many layers I am covered with. When I peel off these layers, then I will know the real me, right? I am maybe an engineer. I work as an engineer, but that's not, I am an engineer, right? I still work as an engineer. That's my profession. I am a mother or a sister, but I am not the mother or a sister. It's the role I am playing. But I actually am the being. I am that point of light. Whatever body I get, it is my body. I am not the body. So that differentiation, what it does, it helps me create the right thoughts. It helps me create the thoughts, what I want to attract, the things I want to attract. If I keep thinking I'm a body, I'm a profession, I'm the roles and responsibilities, I will create the ordinary thoughts and I will attract the ordinary things because I will want to make every effort to make my body and my bodily relations comfortable. I will attract money, I will attract relationships, I will attract health, which are very important. We are not making it any lesser, but what we are saying is the being is the most important. The being is the most important. When I'm filling the being up with all the powers, all the other bodily things which I need will come to me. We'll see how. So this is the being, the being. And what the being is made up of? Being is made up of love, peace, purity, happiness. All these virtues, the being is made up of. Now, when I know I am the being, then what will I attract? I will attract only what I need. And what do I need? What does the being need? It just needs peace, love, purity, power, knowledge, bliss, because that is what the being is made of. So it will only attract those things. Now see how the science works. It is so beautiful. When I am attracting this high energy thoughts of peace, love, happiness, the base, I'm attracting the core, I'm attracting the foundation of these thoughts. Whatever instrumental things I need in order to experience that, I will get that anyways. My happiness or my peace, anything is not dependent on the physical things, because being is using body as an instrument. But whatever the body needs, and any of these qualities, even for a temporary point, it is I'm able to achieve through physical things, I will attract that anyways. Say for a temporary period of time, we are getting some happiness or some comfort to the body from XYZ instrument or XYZ, say a comfortable chair or comfortable car. I will attract that anyways, because I am in that high state of peace, love, and happiness. So when we know we are the being, we are going to attract things likewise. We are learning how to elevate ourselves, how to get to that level of being, how to vibrate at that high frequency, so that when we attract that high frequency, or everything related to that will attract anyways in my life. Whatever I need, I will get anyways. But since we are already living in the world, and since we will need few things, it is very important to create that powerful visualization of what you need, and it will get attracted to you. Now see, when we apply these logic, and when we attract these kind of things and we visualize these kind of things, my world becomes perfect. I become perfect, my relationships become perfect, and then my world become perfect. Is my world perfect? First of all, is this my world? Yes, this is my world. But first, my world is inside. My world is my thoughts. Because I am staying with me whole day, right? And with me, when I say, who is it? It's all my thoughts. If I am locked into the room for say 10 days without any mobile or without any laptop or without anyone to talk to, who am I staying with? What is my world? My world is just that room for those days. But even then, I can create either a very beautiful world, or I can create a world with a very low energy. It is only because of my thoughts. Whatever I create, I can grow, or I can be at the same level, or I can even go lower. So I have to decide what thoughts I should create from my perfect world. Now, how do we apply the secret? First is create. Set a realistic expectation, set a realistic goal or realistic vision, whatever you want to achieve. And then you believe in it so much that you have already got it. We don't have to say that I will get there, or this is going to be mine, or I will get it soon even. No, this is mine. Or I have, say for example, we take an example of job. Say you're searching for a job. You create a realistic goal, first of all. We are not saying I'm going to acquire this company in next 3 months. You, that's what for me, but if that's true for you, you can create that thought. But whatever is realistic thought for us, we should create that thought, and then we should believe that I have already got the best job. I have already got whatever salary you wanted, whatever role you wanted, whatever work you wanted, you can create that. I have got that job. And then you visualize yourself in that job. You're performing well, you're doing excellent. And at the same time, in the parallel, we also have to take necessary actions. If I just sit in the room and create these thoughts, it's not going to land me to that job. I have to study, I have to apply, I have to give interviews, I have to do all those things. So this is just a small example, but it is all these things along with taking the necessary actions. Think the things you want. So this is shown the upward spiral of positive thoughts, and then there's a downward spiral too. As we think of thoughts, we are going to go downward also, and we can rise upwards also. One is create your day in advance. Early morning when you get up, when we thank with a feeling of gratitude and we create lot of love, after we do those things, when we start vibrating at a very high frequency, that is when we create and plan our whole day. We have to see how my day will go. Visualize whole day how it is going to go. Say for example, you're going to go to a grocery store and there is a tight parking space there. So you visualize even before in the morning that I have gone to the grocery store, I have got the best parking space, I have done my shopping well, I came back and I came home safely and I got each and everything I wanted. So what is the harm in visualizing that? And try it, and the power of visualization actually works. So you can create your day in advance, whole day. This is just an example. In the middle of the day, you keep checking your feelings. It is impossible to feel good and create negative thoughts at the same time, right? So if not at the thought level, every hour you check how you're feeling. If you're feeling good, great. If you're not, then we are trying to uplift that feeling, because it's very harmful to not go under that frequency level. We don't want to even go to the ordinary level. Low is a very different thing. So uplift yourself. Some popular ways on the internet to uplift self is music. We remember our pleasant memories, nature, hobbies. But with power of meditation, which we will see, it's much easier and much faster way to uplift ourselves. Now, if we want to achieve something, we have to love it more than we love the things which we are doing now. What it means is, say for example, we want to lose weight. We want to lose weight and we love junk food and we don't want to exercise. We love watching TV. So what happens is, my love for losing weight or my love for fitness or that perfect body should be much more than my love for junk food or my love for watching TV. Now, what happens? We fall into some common traps. Why we are not able to apply the secret? One is the trap of past. We keep dwelling in the past sometimes. It's shown in the picture. She's crying over that spilt milk. The past is past. It is past. We can learn from the mistakes and we can grow. If we had some good memories, we don't need to stick to it. We can also enjoy that, remember that, enjoy that, and go ahead, but not to get stuck in that. Sometimes we get low self-esteem. It is very hard to visualize what we are thinking and a very high frequency thoughts when we are in low self-esteem. Then there's virtual world. The person who is so engaged in the phone, he's about to step in the manhole, he doesn't know. Because virtual world, the social media, phone and devices have made us like robots and puppets. Whatever I'm reading there and whatever I'm doing there, my thoughts are working according to that. I don't even have time to check my feelings, how I'm feeling. It's so fast. So just take some moments away from your devices. You can step into silence, or you can be offline for a day in a week. Just do something, but try to get control over your mind. And then is looking at others. Here it's shown two people are driving and there's an accident at the side of the road. But because they're watching the accident, they hit each other. That's what will happen when we look at others. We are going to mess up what we have in our life, because when we are looking at others, even physically, when we are looking somewhere else, we are not able to concentrate on our path. So in our life journey, everyone is on their own journey. We cannot compare, compete. We have to focus on what I want, not because they have it, I want that, but really what I want. We have to analyze and think. If we can get inspired from them, we should pick that value and start looking ahead in our life. But we should not get stuck in the side scenes of the road. We'll do a small activity today. It's a fun activity. I would request you all to go on this link, polev.com/Akshata A011. And that link will be posted in the chat too. It's a small polling exercise. I hope you have got enough time to go on that link. Now, I would like you to enter the qualities you want in perfect you. So what qualities I want in perfect me? In one word, I should mention that. You can enter your responses on that link. What qualities I want in perfect me. And don't think about how you will achieve that. Just think about what you want. So we are getting some answers here. How the ideal me would be. I hope you can read all the answers. So whichever qualities are entered more than once, they get highlighted. So peace and happy, many people want that. Perfect. So this is the qualities we want in perfect me. Next is what qualities I want in a perfect relationship. In one word, I can answer this. What qualities I want in a perfect relationship? So we have happy, loyalty, love, harmony, calm, peace, purity, understanding, good, respect, acceptance, trust. Okay, next is how is my perfect world? If I were to design my own world, in one word, what should my perfect world be? So the answers are freedom, peace, happiness, peaceful, accepting, worry-free, harmony, full of everything, I believe. All right. So remember these things: the perfect me, my perfect relationship, and perfect world. This is what I want. Is it possible to achieve it? Yes, we can visualize and achieve it if we want. We will see how. So, one of the ways to do that is through meditation. Why meditation? What we are doing, we are totally concentrating on thoughts. So it is very necessary to silence the mind when we want to clearly know our thoughts. Meditation is proven to be one of the best techniques to do that. It is the most effective. Here we can see there's a flower and there are ripples in the water. Because of the ripples, the flower is not seen clearly. What do you think? When the water is still, will I be able to see that flower image clearly? I will be, right? So similarly, when my mind is silent, I can see each and every thought and I can create each and every thought according to my wish. Now we will think that thoughts come. They are not coming. We are creating them, but it's such a high speed, we don't even realize what we are creating. And then we are the chain of thoughts we are creating. So when I have this vision, why we did the small exercise is because it is possible to create what we want. But when we know what we want, only then we can create it. So we can do this exercise for our own self. You can take out some time and do it. What you want in the ideal you, and you can put it on the vision board. What do you want for the ideal world? You can put it on the vision board and you can create thoughts accordingly, and that because of the visualization it will happen. Now let's see what is the perfect relationship. We did see so many attributes we wanted in perfect relationships. You all entered very good qualities. Today, is it possible to have all those qualities in one relationship, in one person? Is it possible? It is difficult to find in today's world all the relationships in one person. There is one entity, it's divine, whatever you call it, supreme, God. Every relationship you can experience with that divine being. The divine being is full of those qualities because he is the highest source of energy. He is at the highest frequency. So when we are talking about frequencies, why not connect to the best frequency? What happens when we connect to the highest frequency? We are going to connect to the highest frequency. We are going to download the high level of energy. We are going to download the thoughts which are vibrating at a high energy, like love, peace, purity, happiness. When I am going to fill myself with these qualities from this relationship with the divine, when I come into my relationships with the world, in the house, when I come as a sister, brother, wife, kids, parent, daughter-in-law, any relationship, or even work, colleagues, friend, any relationship, what do you think? How I can fulfill those relationships? When I have relationship with the highest frequency and I have downloaded the high frequency thoughts, I have downloaded that energy and I'm filled myself with that energy. And when I come in interaction with my actual relationships, how that relationship will be. it is going to, it will be so good. It will be beyond your imagination, because what happens is I am full. I am content with all the feelings. I don't expect anything from them. And when I connect with the divine being and I load myself up, I have so much that I just want to give. And people love receiving. So every other relationship is wanting to spend time with me. They want to be in my company, because they are also feeling that high frequency which are caught from the divine. So the relationships will not only heal, they will flourish. So while being in the household, because this is the secret, right? We are not leaving anything. We are staying with family, we are working, we are going, we are living in the world, and we are creating first ideal me, then ideal relationship with the supreme, and then the ideal world. First, the ideal world will be here in my thoughts. When that is perfect, it will vibrate, it will spread around me, my home, workplace, that will be ideal. And then the ideal world, it will spread. So I have to develop that relationship with my supreme father, mother. We can think him as a child, friend, spiritual guide, teacher, beloved. Each and every relationship I can experience with that divine being. And trust me, you will not be disappointed. You will experience so much of unconditional love, because he is non-judgmental. He's accepting you as you are. So when we accept someone as we are, or when we are accepted by someone as we are opening up. We open our hearts fully, and we are willing to change. So with the God's love, God's power, the divine's energy, I am supplied with so much of positivity that I open myself to change. I am willing to change. I'm flexible. And all these qualities are very easy to apply because of love. And how does it help in our physical world? Definitely, all these things are very good. I am going to get empowered and everything, but I am living in the world, and I do need, like we saw, money, health, relationships, and everything. How is that this relationship going to help me here? We know that the relationship with the divine is the supreme relationship I can have, is the highest relationship I can have. Now, if I tell you, if I give you a problem, I give you a bar of chocolate which has 25 pieces. I want one piece, but still the chocolate should be intact. I want to have one piece out of that bar, but still it should have 25 pieces. Is that possible? How will we do it? So this is the trick. Here it's shown, there's a 25 piece chocolate bar, and because of the way it's cut and there is some setting, I am left one piece out. We can remove a piece from the chocolate bar, and yet it has 25 pieces. So this is just a example, but the message is that when we have this divine relationship with the supreme, whatever situation I am in, logically, when I think, which I think it is impossible, and I see only options A, B, and C, he comes in the picture and he shows me, he opens my intellect and he shows me options D and E, that this could be done this way. Why don't you try to do this way? Why don't you contact this person? Why don't you go here? Something will work out. Some high energy, some high frequency you will catch, because of which you will get solution which you never thought of, which you thought it was impossible to do. That happens. That is what I get from this relationship. And what are the takeaways for us? This is very important, right? To practice. Beginning of the day, we create First is when we get up the first hour, we practice those high frequency thoughts. We gather that high frequency, we start vibrating at that frequency, and then we create how we want the day to go. We have a physical activities planned. Similarly, we create a timetable of the mind. In the middle of the day, every hour or at every regular intervals, we check how we are feeling. Am I feeling good? Like we ask everyone, even if we are in office, how are you? How are you? So similarly, check ourselves. How am I feeling? Am I feeling good? If I'm not, immediately change your feeling, change your thoughts. And the only thing you need to do is feel good. Feel good now. And then at the end of the day, you reflect all the actions throughout the day. Maybe you can maintain a chart, you can write down, or you can reflect how the day went. If there were certain things which did not go how you wanted them to go, you can go back in that scene, revise that scene, and change your reaction. Thinking you could have acted in this way, maybe you can change your reaction. So it's very important to do. And last 10 minutes of the day and first 10 minutes of the day minimum, we should be with ourselves. We should connect with that divine energy, and we should create the high energy thoughts, because the next 6 to 8 hours we are going into sleep mode, and we are activating the subconscious mind for some time, and we are going to easily, we can make changes in ourselves. So that time we should be technology free, we should be negativity free, we should be only vibrating at a very, very high frequency, the frequency of the divine. So very necessary to practice that small meditation in the beginning of the day and the end of the day, and then in the middle of the day. Remember, the secret lies in visualizing what we want. Of course, now the perfect self, perfect relationship, and perfect world might not exist, but it is not that it's not going to happen. We visualize what we want, and we do not adjust with the ordinary definition or with the worldly definition of new normal. When we say it's not going to be like before, why not it be better? Why not it be much better? Why not it be so elevated? So I am going to create my own definition of the new world. Create the world you wish existed. So a little bit about the organization. Brahma Kumaris, we are a world spiritual organization. It's a non-profit founded in 1937, and we have global presence in 130 countries with more than 8,000 centers. We have over 1 million practicing members worldwide. The motto is world transformation through self-transformation. We have a local center here in Milpitas, where it is led by Sister Kusum. So we call her Kusum Didi. She's the director of the center. And since childhood, she has been practicing this meditation, and she has surrendered her life for godly service. And she's there for all of us. She's an excellent mentor, guide, teacher, and she guides all of us. We have more than 200 students attending regular classes now, which are online. We do offer everything free of costs, but we do accept contributions also. So if you would like, the link is posted in the chat. You can contribute. BKWSO USA is a non-profit organization, and contributions are fully tax deductible. It is a way of paying back and collecting blessings, right? Give with a, even if you want to give with the right intention. There are a few announcements. There are a new batch of Raj Yoga meditation course in Hindi, English, and Gujarati, which starts on October 10th. English course is 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Hindi and Gujarati courses are 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Those who have not done the Raj Yoga meditation course, I would highly encourage you to take those courses, because they give a new mindset. They are free courses. It will just cost you your time. Please register for the courses if you haven't done, and do give it a try. It is life changing. We do have living value classes for kids every Sunday, 10:30 to 11:30. There is a new batch which is starting, shifting from stressful to peaceful parenting, which is for parents every Sunday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. There's an excellent news. There's a 21 days spiritual fitness challenge. I'm sure it must be very interesting to everyone. New spiritual vitamins meditations is starting from October 5th from 7:30 p.m. to 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. in the evening. There's no prior experience needed. It's very good for beginners and very good habit to put. Let us do some meditation for some time. Let us experience God's love. Sit relaxed. Relax your body. Relax your lower body. Relax your upper body. Relax your facial muscles. In the center of the forehead, I, the being, reside. I, the being, I am tiny point of light, made of love, peace, purity, knowledge, bliss, happiness. I, the being, am wearing this costume. This body is my costume, and I am higher than the body. I now visualize the Supreme Being right in front of me. The Supreme Being is a point of light. It's the highest form of energy. And I visualize the rays of the Supreme Being spreading out in front of me, and the rays of love are falling onto me. I, the being, I'm merged in God's love. It is the divine energy. It's the divine frequency. It's the divine vibrations. It is the unconditional love. I surrender to the experience. The divine, who is my true parent, has accepted me as I am and nourishing me with this high elevated love. Due to this love, I open my heart and I let things flow out. Because I am accepted as I am ready to make changes in myself with the power of God's love. I now take one thing I want to change in myself. I know I have the power to do it. I know it will happen, but now I visualize that it has already happened. The one thing I want to change. Merged in God's love, I take a promise. I take an oath. I will change this. I'm already free of that thing. I visualize my perfect self, full of God's divine qualities. I visualize my perfect relationship with the God, and I visualize my perfect world with other human beings, which is of abundance, prosperity, peace, happiness, love. Now I promise God the one thing which I have taken today. I'm going to work on it for another month. Every day, I'm going to visualize how I have achieved it. And every night, I'm going to revisit it and visualize how it is mine. This continuous practice will make it happen. Thank you. Om Shanti.